All right, we're gonna switch to, I'm gonna remove all my drawings. Okay, and we're gonna grab a text and I'm gonna call it trend identification. Then I do draw supply and demand zones. Okay, execute trades, so entry and exits. Yeah, and then we'll talk about any questions, so Q&A. That's the agenda for today. Okay. Now, all right, so I used to draw zones on weekly and daily. I don't do that anymore because we're day trading. They don't really apply. I mean, they do, but I don't really need them um, for on a 5 minutes or a 15 minutes chart. In terms of trend identification, I always first look at the weekly chart. Okay, so I'm an SPX USD 1 week chart here, and all we're doing is this. Okay, uh, first things first, in terms of like lower highs and lower lows and higher lows and higher highs, if you see a consolidation going sideways, I don't consider it a lower low or a lower high. So let me give an example. Weekly will be very tough, but I will show it to you on daily and 4 hour. Okay, so I'm just gonna draw this path here. So for example, let's say March last year, 2022 this was a lower high. This is a lower high before that. This is a lower low, lower high, lower low. And then what happens here is, so people who are new here, pay attention. If you notice this now, I'm gonna draw a line here. Okay, so this line is at 41.65 approximately in August 2022. On August 8th, that week, we closed above this previous lower high, making the trend bullish. Okay, that's how trend changes. That's how you identify the change in trend basically. So this is a weekly chart, right? And then after that, this was the lower low. So I'm going to draw two lines here. So this is your previous lower high, lower low, and then you have a higher high here, right? So I'm going to put a line here now. I'm going to move the line there now. So if you notice, after making higher high, we consolidated. So this is a consolidation, or you can even call it a supply or demand being created. In the lower levels, you'll be able to see this clearly, okay? And then you are closing below this lower low here. Right? You're closing below that. And then you stay below for a bit. And then if this is your last high, I don't really consider this a lower. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I know I can do that. I just don't consider consolidations as a lower high, in my opinion. Other traders could disagree with me, but that's okay. I've just from experience, I don't. So now to become bullish, so if this is your last high and this is your lower low, to become bullish, because we're stuck in this range now in here, to become bullish, we need to close above 42.78, or if you count the wick, 43.26. Okay, someone asked me on Instagram today that why aren't you swinging? My reply was, as soon as we close above this level here, I will start swinging calls as well. And that will be, in my opinion, a strong confirmation that market wants to be bullish, but I'm waiting for that. So this week, we tried that last week as well. Not last week, sorry. This is last week here. We tried that a few months ago too. We were not able to close. Above this in Feb time, and similar thing is happening right now. Okay, so that's the trend identification on weekly. Now I'm gonna switch to, and I do the same thing on daily, right? Same thing here. I'm gonna skip that, and then if you go 4 hours now, I'm gonna close the chat because I'm being distracted. Um, okay, let's do trend identification here because it matters a lot more than what's happening on the weekly because we're day traders. Um, some people have asked me in the past, like, how far do you go back? You only need to go back on a time frame where you can actually see the candles. So I can see the candles up to here, right? If I do this, like, I can't really see the price action. Okay, so I'm only gonna zoom out up to this much and then scroll to the left a little. Okay, so what's happening here is, let's grab like a previous higher low because the trend is bullish, right? Here, this last wave was bullish. So if I grab here, this is not really a higher high because it didn't close that. Okay, so I'm gonna skip all this, or better is just to start there. Okay, so if this is your higher high and this is your higher low, okay, higher low, higher high, and then this level here is your higher low now. You guys with me? And then did we now on the 4 hour close above here? No, this is a double top, right? So we next closed above, even this is tight as well, but we're gonna have to call it that. And that's your high high. So at this point will be moved here. Okay, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Now, what is your previous higher low? Let's put a line there so people can understand. I'm gonna put a line over here. Higher low on the 4 hour, okay? So now on April 25th, Tuesday, we actually, the 4 hour closed below this higher low, okay? So how many people have followed so far? I wanna know from you what happens here now. Are we bullish or bearish on 9 a.m. on April 25th? Just type yes or no in the chat, or type bullish or bearish in the chat. Are we bullish or bearish here at 9 a.m. on April 25th? Okay, good. So now we became bearish because the candle closed below the previous higher low. That's how simple it is, right? So if you now notice here, we are making lower highs. This is not, is this a lower low? Yes, lower low, lower high. I'm being very technical. Sometimes I'll skip over these things when I'm not being technical to the decimal point. Sometimes I will be ignorant of a couple of decimal points, but just because this is an educational video, I want to be completely technical and get it right by the decimal point, okay? But when I'm trading, sometimes I'm not this technical. So lower high, lower low, lower high. Let's call this a lower low. It's not really a close though. You see that? If I was being technical, it did technically close below. So when I'm saying close, guys, you're looking for the body closes, not the wicks, okay? That's what's for trend identification. That's what's important. Body closes below the previous lows, or body closes before the previous highs. Okay, lower high. So again, when I was saying how I skip some things, I don't really call this the lower low. Oh, I mean, I'll call it a lower low, but I don't want to call it a lower high because it's just consolidating. So I'm gonna skip to something like this. Okay. Okay. So these things, what I'm just talking about, will come with experience, and some of these are, in my opinion, caveats from experience. If you watch another forex trader's video, he may have another opinion on these, right? And sometimes I actually change my opinion too, depending on price action as well, right? Okay, so that's trend identification, and then now, in all of this move, can someone tell me where is the previous lower high? You can look at the price, or I'll zoom in. I'll zoom in. Tell me the time. Where is the previous lower high? 4090. Okay. Anyone else? I just want to make sure people are following and understanding what I'm talking about here, because this is important shit. You can just watch my YouTube video and do the same thing, right? I've done a video before. So DPAN and Twin Solo, why do you think 4090 is a lower high? Zaid thinks it's 4070, which is here. So Zaid thinks it's this one. DPAN and Twin Solo think it's approximately this one. Eddie thinks it's this one as well. Okay. So Zaid and Eddie, you might be right on a lower time frame. Nah, not even on that. Okay. Maybe on 15 minutes you might be. Not even on that. Okay. Let me explain. Let me explain how, okay? I'm gonna draw this again. I'm gonna remove all drawings. Okay. Watch the structure. Zaid, Eddie, and others. Watch the structure. So if I draw a snake, this is how I learned from my master. If I draw a snake, right? Like at what point there's a sharp turn? At what point is there a sharp turn? Is there a sharp turn here? Yeah. My master might say yeah, but I'll be like, no, I don't trust that sharp turn, but yeah. Right? And then if I go here, it's supposed to be done the other way, but I'm just going back the snake route so you guys can see it. I'm just gonna stop here because if I try to go this way, I might get something wrong. But you guys see now what I mean? So if you're going this way, you have a sharp turn, so that means this was your lower high. Okay, so 4070, you don't have, you know, a sharp turn. And also if you're coming from here, lower high, lower low, like there's no stop here. You see that? You might see it on a lower time frame, don't get me wrong. If I go on like a 5-minute chart or a 15-minute chart, you might be right about this one, 4070, but not on this time frame. Okay, you were looking at the lowest wick, which is this one, but then how does this become a lower high? So what I'm saying is, if you go on like, let's say 15 minutes, well, I forgot, I'm lost now. Let me mark it so I don't get lost. This is April 26th, 1 p.m. Okay, we're here. So let's say Eddie and others, now in 15 minutes chart, I want you to draw the trend, right? Let's say we start around here, April 25th morning, right? Lower high, lower low, sharp turn, lower high, nothing in the middle, lower low, lower high, no highs being made above that. Let's find a lower low. No, this is not a lower low because it's not below that one. You get it? We're in the middle of 4090 and 4068, right? So I need a point, I need to close below this point to call it a lower low. That's how this works. Everyone with me? Being very technical here, guys, okay? Okay, now here, that's your lower high, this is your lower low. Now, to have a higher high, we need to go above 4090. This did not close above that, so it's a lower high, lower low, lower high. Yeah, no lower low, we're going sideways. Sorry, I'm gonna delete this up to here. Okay, we're going sideways now. Now at this point, please understand, I'm gonna draw a line here so there's no confusions. And then I'm in 15 minutes right now. So we are, the price action on 15 minutes time frame is between 4089 approximately. Every time I state a number, it's approximate, and 4050, 30 points. Okay, This is considered sideways price action. Even though it's happening after hours, it's still considered sideways price action until we get a close above here, right? Okay, now, if anyone who has not participated so far, I need an answer from you. Okay, so now, is this the bullish close above? This candle here on Thursday, April 27th at 10 a.m. Is this the bullish close above? Anyone who hasn't answered by now? 25 people in here, right? Makes sense. So what do you do here? Do you enter calls here on the first candle? Do we take calls here on the first candle? Why not? It's fucking bullish. Ah, people are getting smarter, eh? People are getting smarter. So you take calls where? This candle? Or we take calls this candle? Or do we take calls on this candle? Or do we buy puts? So look at what we just talked about. So all I'm teaching is, which I've learned from my guru, is we're learning identification of trends first of all before we even talk about entry, right? We're learning what the trend is, okay? Then we're learning what a trend reversal is, right? And know this, that I'm not talking about VIX or news at the moment. We're just talking price action, okay? Those things will augment our trading, right? But right now, I just wanted to learn price action. So trend identification, trend reversal. But now we're getting to the second part. How do we enter? When do we enter, right? So I'm in a 15 minutes chart right now. We have a bullish close above. We don't enter this because we've seen this too many times. Price will come above. It might fake out. It might not close above and just go back down because we're in a bearish impulse. Anything can happen, right? Now, do you enter at 10:45 a.m., at 11 a.m., or 11:15 a.m.? What do you guys think? 10:45. Okay, so let's do this actually. Okay, we don't know what's gonna happen in the future, so I'm gonna delete this candle because 11 a.m. candle is so bullish. Everyone's gonna enter on that. What do you do now? I'll go 1 hour as well. 1 hour is not good example. What do you do now? Do you wait? Do you enter? So we have a bullish close above. We've been waiting for a pullback. Even this pullback is not bad. This pullback is testing the previous structure. Every time I say in my video structure, you guys know what the structure is. I'm referring to the previous lower high in this scenario. If it was a bullish trend, I'll be referring to a higher low, for example, or a higher high. So Savage is saying 11:15. Okay, 11 because buying pressure. Bro, 11, even I'll be scared to enter. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'll be nervous. Not scared, I'll be nervous because like aggressive entry would have been this 10:45, but then because look, what my strategy is saying is you closed above, you are testing the structure, now enter and have the balls to hold it until your stop loss. Simple as that, right? And what's my stop loss? Previous candle's wick. If price goes below this wick, I'm going to cut it for a loss. So how I do that is I'm going to put a line just below 4083. So I'm going to put a line just below here. 4083, something like that. So if I'm entering here at 4087-ish, and if price actually does not hold up to here, which is just below the previous candle's low, I'm going to sell for a loss if I enter here, right? I'm talking about all use cases now. I'm going to talk about all use cases, right? Because some people enter early, some people enter late. So this is an aggressive entry, okay? This is a super like gamble entry, so I don't even call it an entry. This is for people who like to just come in and say, we broke the structure and this is going to rocket to the fucking moon. Like, we're not those people, first of all, right? So let's not even talk about why this is not a good entry. And trust me, this happens a lot to me, which is price will just fucking go some days like that. Okay? And you'll hear me say on live, guys, we missed the trade. I'm sorry, I'll find you another one. It happens. Okay? Okay, now, so if we enter here, that's our stop loss. This is still keeping us in the trade, right? But let's say you don't enter here. Would you enter on this candle? How many people think we enter on this candle? Is this a doji, first of all? How many people know what a doji is? Bullish pin bar at the bottom, he's talking, right? So, one way of thinking is this: you got a bearish candle testing the support, testing the previous structure, and then you have a trend reversal candle, which is after bearish. If you have a trend reversal, it's most likely gonna go up. I would personally wait for this. Okay, I'm gonna wait for. I'll replay it slow. I'm gonna wait for the next candle, and I want to see a wick at the bottom, like a small wick. Okay, this doesn't look the like the way it showed how it was like red. That's not how the market's gonna work. I mean, it's TradingView's replay feature is not that great, is what I'm trying to say. What's actually gonna happen is you will see this is your open and close right here at 4088. Okay, it's opening here. It's opening here in this candle, 1115 candle. It's opening at 4088 and it's forming a wick at the top. Sorry, a wick at the bottom, right? So you are now looking to enter this candle, basically. So it's the wick at the bottom. You're bouncing from the structure. You have closed above the structure. So this would be a perfect entry in my opinion, as close to the structure as possible, as close to 4088 line, 4088 or 89 line in my opinion. Okay. But this entry was not wrong either, 1045, as long as you have a good enough risk tolerance and you're managing your positions. Like if you're buying like 20 contracts here in like a $5,000 account, that's stupid as well, basically. Your Boshi is the curl in play. Yes, typically, let's keep the curl out of this video for now, Yoboshi. I don't want to confuse people, but it is in play. Yes, you got it, Yoboshi. It is definitely in play. This is actually a curl entry, Yoboshi. This whole thing is a curl, and on 15 minutes. I'm gonna delete this line so people don't get confused. This is your lower high, Yoboshi. You gotta close above, retest, enter. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yoboshi's got it, man. He's watching. He's been watching the curl video. Okay, but if you notice, all I'm doing is playing the curl and playing inverse curl all the time, right? And because the market is so like choppy on some days, I'm taking profit faster than usual. But hopefully, easier days come and we can hold our positions for longer to make more money. Okay. All right. So that's so bad. Not really so bad. I mean, it depends. So the price action on Friday. Let me get out of the replay mode. This price action, this bullish wave here, you're not gonna get this every day. Sorry, one by one. Savage is saying, who should hold longer? Savage, I didn't understand your question. I looked at it. Who should hold longer because they went from 360 to 24? I don't know what that means. We should have held it longer? I don't know. I'm not going to advise you to hold anything longer or shorter. Look, I'm a teacher. I'm going to show you how I trade. I'm going to teach you how to get into trades, how to get out of trades. If you want to hold something for a day, week, month, year, that's up to you. Yeah? You know what I mean? So this is what I'm talking about. Guys, you'll see me doing swings as well. I want to see SPX above 4,300, close above that for me to start swinging again, like comfortably and confidently. Currently, all of your swings are, this is the price action you have, right? So let me explain to you what I mean. Okay, so let's say you don't know about the future. Okay, you are in a consolidation phase. You have this bullish wave going, you're buying calls at the bottom, and you're selling, trying to sell at the top of this trend line, right? And then you did the same thing here. Yeah, normal speed. What's happening? Let's go faster speed. Okay, I gotta go even faster speed. It's taking too long. This is the price action, guys. The real price action in the market, right? If you're holding and hoping that because the bullish wave is happening and you actually bought the bottom and this is gonna go up, all I'm trying to say, it's not a swing market right now. I mean, it might be a swing market for puts, um, but you need to spot trend reversals and play them accordingly, right? So I'm just not comfortable holding swings right now. Maybe puts, yeah, but if I'm making money coming in daily and you guys are making money with me coming in daily, right? Do we really need to complicate it? So that's my point. Okay. Now, second agenda of today's call is, where's that texting gone? But anyways, is drawing zones, okay? Just 1 second, just gonna grab some water. So I would recommend, if you want to do this yourself, start in the 4 hour chart, okay, and start from start close to the current price action. Okay, how's the 8 hours looking here? Okay, first let's go for something obvious, right? So if you see this this bounce here at this area, does it match anything on the left? This thing. I see, so in this area here, I see there is a small nothing here, bounce here, bounce here, bounce here, sort of a fake out above that. What about one above here, 4060? So 4060 has, so if I just draw it, right? So what's happening here? Let's understand it, right? Rejection, nothing, uh, bounce above it, but not directly from it, bounce, not small bounce, but got rejected, so nothing. So I'm counting now. One, rejection number two, small rejection and bounce, so this matters. Point three, and point number four. Sergey, yeah, it's recording. Okay, so is this better or is 4050 better? Okay, this is 4050 now. So we have small rejection and bounce. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for a scalp, I guess. 8, 9. So 4050 is a better zone than 4060 because it has most number of taps, more number of taps than 4060. Okay, this is, I did that just to teach you guys how I think about it. Okay, so now look at this one here, 4077 approximately. What's happening here? Rejection, rejection, bounce, very minor bounce, definitely rejection. Yeah. Okay. Are you following? Are people following? So rejection, 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 consolidation here, multiple rejections, huge rejection, bounce, 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 higher low above it, bounce, small bounce, huge bounce. How many did you count? 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 11. Yeah? How many people follow what I'm teaching here? Like how to draw a supply demand zone. You guys follow? Does it make, is it making sense? Yeah? So, and then you continue, right? So now, let's say before I do the middle part, which is mostly consolidation, let's grab the top, okay? So if I have a line here at 4177, right here, the body close of this area with this area. Let's get some bodies in there too. I need to get at least the body of the first thing. Okay, so rejections 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then now currently it's testing it 7, right? Good area. And also notice this one's a wider area, right? 4070 27. I don't really like 7 points, so just made it slightly shorter. Okay, now in the middle. So see this bounce here? I'm first just grabbing the clear bounces. See that? So I'm gonna put one here. Just to make sure I captured all of them. And now if you come in the middle here, so this is like huge consolidation, right? And that's why you'll notice that price will just stop anywhere it wants to in the consolidations, right? So this is a 4117, so 60 point gap in there. Okay, so let's try to grab one more here. So 4130 area here. Okay, let's just draw it and then we'll analyze it. Yes. Okay. So we have rejections, some rejection, bounces, small bounce, didn't last. So let's not count that one. Couple here, 3, rejection 4, rejection, 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 2 rejections here. Rejection, rejection, staying above for a bit. So this is like consolidation, and then again bounce here, rejection here, rejection here, rejection, 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 right? So this, it's a pretty strong area, the 4140. And let's say now I need to get in between 4173 and 4140. Instead of like staying in 4 hour, I'm gonna be smart about it and go to 2 hours, but then I'm not gonna see what's happening there. So before I go there, let me try to spot a level, then I'll zoom into the 2 hours or 1 hour. Because it's a lot of consolidation, instead of putting a zone here, I'm just gonna put a line here, just like that, right? Now we're missing one here before I go deep in. So there's a wick. This one's easy as well. Rejection, so many bounces, right? Rejection, bounces, bounces, rejection, small bounce here, small bounces here, rejections here, and then this price action is consolidation between these two zones, and this one was a higher low, right? Sometimes this will happen too. I mean, you can't help it. Okay, so what I've done so far, let's see it in a smaller time frame now. Okay, does it make sense now? We didn't draw these on 15 minutes, right? But look how clear everything is. Make sense? Sometimes I'll come here and I'll be like, maybe this should be here. I'll do that too sometimes. Because I don't want to get caught. Let's say, price is coming here and this is like up here and it goes, price comes back down. So let's say price is like coming. Instead of stopping here, it stops like here, right? So I don't want to be caught by that. So I will just move it. So I'm covering the body of these candles and covering the wicks on the other two. And this is an inverse HNS as well. How many people saw that? Inverse head and shoulders. Head here, left shoulder, right shoulder. Neckline is like way at the top. Anyways, and not a clean head and shoulders, but yeah. So you guys see what I mean? So we drew these supply demand zones on 4 hour time frame, and look how they look in the 15 minutes. And let's see how they look in the 5 minutes. I trade 15 minutes, but sometimes I switch to 5. This is how they look in 5. Definitely better on 15, but 5's not too bad either. Yeah. You guys like what you see? People followed? So if you get the confidence to draw these yourself, on Friday, we took that Friday morning trade. Was that a 100% winner? Someone remind me, was Friday morning 100%? It was, right? So this was the move on Friday. I had a line here on that day instead of a zone, if people remember. I did not have a zone, right? I need to update my zones. That's why I actually went through this exercise. Okay? Because what happens is supply and demand level changes every week they do. If I don't update them, I will be left behind. So I took the entry here that day, but that was again, a different setting. But in this scenario, entry makes sense here, right? But I know that day I took entry there because the zone wasn't there and the line was here. See, both ways will make sense. This is how it was on Friday. See that? We just went through this example. Was it the same example? Lower high? No, it was not the same example. Look, I just taught you guys this, right? So we're in 5 minutes. Lower high. Trying to break above. Close above. You buy the next test of the structure. And we actually did this on Friday morning. We made like 100%. How many people remember that? Do you guys remember? We bought this Friday 10 o'clock. If you go to the channel, you'll see it. Okay. All right. We're done with trend. We're done with supply demand zones. We're gonna do Q&A. We already covered entries and exits. Exits are local areas and zones. Entries, I think I've extensively covered entries, but in terms of exits, I know a lot of people get confused. Hey, how long should I hold it for? So for example, on Friday, if you entered 10 a.m., what's this one, right? So my entry was here and my exit was here. 41.58, I remember that level. Okay. Entry, exit. if you wanted to hold it for longer, technically you could have been stopped out, right? If this was your stop loss at entry, right? So, but if anyone caught like a future trader, they caught the entry of the zone, they are actually, they are good to hold it until the next zone, and until they get stopped out, which is a close below this zone. Did you guys follow what I just said? So if you were a futures trader, you weren't waiting for 9:30 in the morning. Price came up, tested the zone, so many different bounces on it. You either caught this candle or this candle, stop loss below this. Here's your stop loss line, 41.12. You bought future SPX contracts here. Your target is the zone. Until you get stopped out, you're in the trade. So that's another way of trading, right? But you can buy options in the I mean, you can, but it's low volume. So if you look at 1 hour, it'll seem easier. See that? Okay, now to the questions. How often do you update them? Either bi-weekly or weekly. I should be updating them weekly. Sometimes I don't, but I should be updating them every Sunday. With entries in place, what dollar difference would be tolerable in Friday? That's a tricky question, Sabat. Uh, if it's a strong move, it wouldn't matter, like on Friday. But if I'm only playing for $150 a contract, $50 is a lot. I personally didn't enter because I've seen where we cut a $50 contract. So you can call it a missed trade. You just missed a trade, and I'll say that's okay. Just wait for the next one. I mean, if you overthink it, hey, I should have caught it, or I'm not sure. I think in that trade, what happened was about, oh yeah, I remember what happened. See, there's no, once the price went, there was no pullback, right? So there was no opportunity for you to re-enter. So we're talking about, look, and I think I was in 15 minutes, but I'm going to 5 minutes just to show you. So if I had entered here at 950, there were, and then let's say I caught like 350, 360, price came back and I gave you an opportunity to enter. But what I had done was I entered here. And after that, there's no pullback. Now, if you miss it, you miss it. I mean, I can't have a debate or a conversation about like what's the right entry after that. You know what I mean now? I'll be giving you wrong guidance, telling you enter this candle, or this candle. This candle was the entry. Do you follow, Sabat? So I can't give you a price point like 40 cents or 50 cents. No, I can't do that. What I can do is I can tell you this candle is the right entry. Okay, anyone else? Questions? Was there anything else on the agenda? We have about 10 minutes. I can answer your questions. Did anyone watch the video? I posted in video recordings. If you haven't watched it, it's actually a very good video in my opinion. This is a video here, guys. So what I did was I went to a point in the chart on March 7th, and I actually hit the future from me, so I didn't know what was gonna happen. I mean, of course, we knew that for those 2 days, price was going down and it was consolidating and so on. But like, in this video, I talk about exact entries and exits, and like I think I predict a move, it doesn't go as planned. So, if you watch this video, you'll know like when I'm trading, what's going through my mind. If you haven't seen me live before. Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording now, and I'll just answer questions. Actually, I will not stop the recording because some people are asking questions. Typically looking for 100. No, Sabad, that's not true actually. I'm not typically looking for 100 to 150. What you can say is I have now slightly changed my style a little bit because a lot of people have small accounts. But in the old server, if you remember, I used to do my minimum contract buy would be at like $1,200 or sometimes $800, and I would look to make 40-50% on that. So it's not really a 100-150 thing, it's about percentages, right? I'm looking to make 30 to 50% on a contract minimum. Sometimes when the price action is not right, you'll see me escaping at 20%. Occasionally, I think one in every four trades, you'll see 100% winner. And I can show you what you can do is just go to SPX alerts performance and bring this up. You'll see what I'm talking about. Look at these wins here. 20%, 30%, 20%, 180%, 20%, 20%, 60, 60, 100, 100. See what I mean? So you'll have those. All that means is I'm not 100% sure about the price action, so I'm getting out. Or it's close to 4 p.m. EST, I'm getting out, right? In some cases. So it depends upon the situation. You can't generalize any of that. If VIX and SPX both are bullish, bearish same time, yes, Deepan, that's a very good question. So this happened to us. You remember that day we weren't able to enter? Which day was that? When we were sitting on our hands for a couple of hours. I missed the move. Which day was that? When VIX was just going sideways. I think it was Thursday. Yeah, it was Thursday. From 12 p.m. to the close on Thursday. So on Thursday, what I had said was, if you missed this entry here around 11:30, 12, you did not get an entry, and VIX did this. So deep end, all that means is my strategy did not give us an entry. That's all I can say. Right? But I'm not. So this usually happens in bull markets. Sometimes VIX will not move, right? So, and that's why I did an announcement as well that once we enter the bull run, I will rely less on VIX, right? Now I need VIX because the market is not one directional, right? So, and another point is, because my strategy teaches entry on a retest and teaches patience, the retest entry was this one. Yeah. Because why? We're testing the supply demand zone, we're testing previous structure, we had a bullish close above, right? So price action is saying we enter here. Now if I miss this entry and I'm looking for entry all day long, I'm not gonna get one. Right? Shit happens basically. Okay, so Deepan's question means to wait for clear direction. Will Wednesday determine the bull market? I don't know, Savage. Price action will determine the bull market on a daily and a weekly time frame is my answer, Savage. News, I don't care, bro. Everything's manipulated. News is manipulated. Markets are manipulated. Money is manipulated, right? We can't make guesses. I'm still having issues with exits on trades. I'm 100. As soon as I market sell the contract, I make like 70. This happens every time, even the price action is slow. How can I maximize? So Kunu, it depends upon your account size. If your account size is $1,000 and you're still making $100 a contract, that's fine. But if your account size is $10,000, okay, you need to learn this. Okay, guys, anyone with bigger accounts, watch this. Okay. Okay. Ignore the time on the chart. I'm just gonna teach you strategy, right? Same thing. I'm actually gonna repeat myself. So Kunu, let's say you have a big enough account size and your entry is close to the zone, okay? And I'm gonna write this down for you. Okay, and your entry, let's say your entry is like here. Okay, so Kunu, let's say you enter 5 contracts. Yeah. So you entered 5 contracts in this area. So ignore the actual technicality or technical analysis at this point. Okay, I'm just gonna show you how you would take profits. So you entered 5 contracts here. This is your stop loss below the wick of the previous low. You with me so far, Kana? So you entered close to the zone, and your stop loss, you have high enough risk tolerance, is below the previous lower low. Okay, you take first profit here, second profit here, right? Now you have a decision making. When the price is coming back down to test previous lower high, even though it's above your entry, now this is based on your risk tolerance. Are you, because you don't know what's going to happen in the future, right? Look, okay, okay. Now you'll understand what I'm saying. Entry, stop loss, take profit one, take profit two, price rejected at this level. Now it's testing like the previous structure, right? Now, if I had entered 5 contracts here and I've gotten rid of 2, or let's say 3 or 4, I'm holding 1, right? Either you set stop loss, so you're gonna bring this stop loss right at entry, right? So that way you don't lose any money on the remaining contracts, okay? Or you decide to cut some here, right? And see if the price is actually gonna bounce from here, which it actually does, because we know in hindsight, but in reality, you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Let's be honest here, okay? So you're holding the remaining couple of contracts. There's a 70-80% chance. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I'm gonna take that back. We don't know what the chance of prices bouncing here, okay, like above this structure. So it is your call here to actually hold or let it basically go down, and then you'll exit at the stop loss, which is break even at this point. So you don't lose any money. That is the only way to hold contracts for a longer period of time. There's no other way. I actually buy at ask and I sell at, I do limit sell. So the sellings are not at bid, sellings at ask as well. Um, it depends. If I'm scalping, I'm buying a market, selling a market too sometimes. But if I'm holding for a trade, I would do limit sells. For example, this one here, right? No, so look, Kanu, look at your question. Would I buy at ask? If you're buying at ask, that means if you're following my alert, you're gonna have to buy at ask. You have no other option. Like if you really want to get in, you're gonna have to do that if you're following my alert. But let's say you're trading on your own, you're not following anyone, right? I would recommend you to actually basically enter based on price action. So what that means is what that means is this. And you can buy at ask for this, what I'm about to show you. So what happens is, let's say price, this is the lower high, price comes up, it's closing above the lower high now, right? So you can enter the first candle which closed above. You're waiting for a pullback. Because you're waiting for a pullback, the price of the contract at the top versus bottom, right? It's gone down already. So in my opinion now, if I know the market's turning bullish because we're closing above lower high, it's okay to actually buy at ask in this use case. Because let's say we were looking at 4140 calls, and they're at $6 here, they're gonna be at like 450 here. You're already buying $150 cheaper. You with me? If I do a limit order here and I miss it, I'm not gonna be happy with myself. That is my point. Because you're already buying it cheaper. If you were buying it here and you were buying at ask, in my opinion, that's not good, because if you're wrong, first of all, I don't teach buying the first candle above, right? Now let's say this candle fakes out. This candle does this and then does this, right? Now, if your stop loss is here, you're gonna lose some money, right? And plus you bought at ask at the top, so you're gonna lose a lot of money basically, right? So instead, what I teach is or recommend is wait for a pullback. I think on that day, I don't remember the exact time set. I might have entered at 9:55 because I saw this. Hey, let me check that. I think I entered early because I remember people panicking. Uh, where the fuck do I post them? Jersey alerts. No, I entered at 10:02 a.m. So I entered at this candle. Basically, we entered probably around here, like 41:36ish area. Okay, I answered that questions. Are there any more questions? Anyone? No problem, Kunu. Um, I'm gonna stop the recording now. It's